Your CTA isn't being ignored, it's being avoided. Ignored means they didn't notice it. Avoided means they saw it, felt pressure, and decided to click away. So if you're posting consistently, getting views, but almost nobody's clicking your link, that's what's happening every time you post. The good news is, it's not your content, your niche, or your audience size. The way you're phrasing your CTA is creating pressure instead of curiosity, and pressure kills clicks. I had clients go from almost no link clicks to 3 to 4% click-through rates by changing one thing. I call it the 3C framework, and it works whether you're getting 500 views or 50,000. Once you see this, you'll know exactly how to turn viewers into paying clients with a single line. When someone watches your YouTube video, there's a path from viewer to client. They watch, they click your link, they visit your landing page, they apply, book a call, then if you're good, they become a client. The click is the very first step in the entire process. If nobody clicks, nothing else ever happens. So let's look at the numbers. Say your channel gets 5,000 views a month. With a typical CTA that says something like book a call with me or link in the description, you might get a 1% click-through rate, if you're lucky. That's 50 people visiting your landing page. But with a CTA that follows the 3C framework, that number can jump to 3 to 4%. That's 150 to 200 people visiting your landing page. Same views, content, and audience, but the only thing that changed is what you said in your CTA. And if your landing page converts at 12%, which is what a good landing page should do, that's the difference between 6 leads and 24 leads. That's a 400% increase from the same 5,000 views. So this isn't a small tweak. The words you use in your CTA are the gateway to your entire business. Get them wrong and your funnel starves, but get them right and everything downstream starts working beautifully. But here's where most coaches get this wrong and exactly how to fix it. At the end of their videos, most coaches say, if you want help with this, book a free call with me, links in the description. Or if you want to work with me, click the link below. And then they wonder why nobody clicks. The problem is that these CTAs are asking for commitment up front. Book a call sounds like a serious decision, or work with me sounds like a big investment. And the person watching your video hasn't made either of those decisions yet. It's like proposing to your girlfriend after the third date. Yes, it can work, but more likely than not, you're going to scare her away and put a serious strain on the relationship, or maybe even end it. Think about it from your viewer's perspective. They're watching your video on their lunch break, they found it helpful, and they think you're a really smart and cool person, obviously. But that doesn't mean they've decided they need coaching or that they're ready to get on a call with someone they just know from the internet. When your CTA says book a call, their brain immediately goes to, am I ready for that? What's it going to cost? What if it's a high pressure sales pitch? I don't want to have to make decisions. And the easiest answer to all those questions is to just keep watching YouTube and not click the link. So the problem isn't that your audience doesn't like your content, but that your CTA is creating friction instead of removing it. But don't worry, because the fix is simple. All you have to do is stop asking people to commit to a big thing and instead give them a reason to be curious, typically by framing it as a benefit to them. Instead of saying, book a call with me, try something like, see how this can help you lose the weight for good. Or instead of work with me, try, see exactly how I do this with my clients step by step. So the first versions ask the viewer to make a decision and creates pressure. The second versions offer them something interesting with zero commitment. Your CTA shouldn't feel like a sales pitch. It should feel like the most interesting next step that your viewer is excited to take. Because people don't click when they feel pressure. They click when they feel curious. My entire landing page is built around this exact principle. No pressure, no hard sell, no big commitments. And when you see it, you have a real example of exactly what a low friction page looks like so you can build your own. Click the link in the description to see exactly how it works in practice. So now you know that most CTAs fail because they ask for too much too fast. The fix is to make your CTA feel like a natural, low-pressure next step. And the simplest way to do that is to follow the 3C framework, meaning every CTA in your video needs to be clear, compelling, and congruent. First, your CTA needs to be clear. It should only tell the viewer to take one single action, not check out my website, follow me on Instagram, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Because the moment you give people more than one option, you've split their attention, given them decision paralysis, and significantly reduced the chance of them taking any action at all. Having just one clear CTA that gets them to click on one link in the description will drastically increase your click-through rate. Second, your CTA needs to be compelling. You need to give your viewer a damn good reason to click that link. Book a free call isn't a reason, even if it's free, because it still puts pressure on the viewer and forces them to commit to talking to another human being, which most people aren't ready to do. A truly compelling CTA tells them that they're going to get something cool and useful instead when they click. So instead of saying, work with me, you can say, see how this system can help you hit your muscle building goal. That one frames the CTA as a benefit to the viewer. If they click that link, they're going to get something that will help them solve their problems. And finally, your CTA needs to be congruent with whatever it is you just talked about in your video. If your video is about landing pages, your CTA should also be about landing pages. If your video is about how to approach women at a bar, your CTA should be related to those approaches. This matters so much because when your CTA matches the video topic, it feels like a natural extension of the content instead of a big commitment or decision. So when you tell people to click the link, they'll think, that makes complete sense. I'll go click that right now. But when it doesn't match, it feels like an ad break. The viewer was learning about landing pages and suddenly you're saying book a free strategy call. That makes their brain slam on the brakes and have to shift gears, which ruins the flow of your video and makes people lose interest completely. So your CTA should change depending on the video, even if the actual link in the description is the same. If the link in two different videos both go to your landing page, you still describe the benefit of clicking on that link differently in each video. You make the CTA clear, compelling, and congruent to the video they just watched. So that's what makes a CTA work. The last piece is knowing where to put them, because even a perfect CTA in the wrong place will get ignored. Every video needs at least 2 CTAs, one about a third of the way in and one at the very end. 2 CTAs isn't just a random number, it mirrors how attention actually works in a YouTube video. At the start of your video, your viewer is still warming up. They're deciding whether you and your video are worth their time. But once you're a third of the way in, they've already gotten value from you, they trust you a little, and that's when you place your first CTA. And that one should always be a natural pause CTA. A natural pause CTA is light. It's not a pitch. It's more like saying, hey, I just taught you something. Here's a tool if you want to go deeper. The goal is to give the viewer a low pressure off-ramp without disrupting the momentum of the video. If you're a marriage coach, it could be something like, if you want the exact conversation framework I use with couples to rebuild trust fast, click the link in the description. It's short, relevant to the point you just made, zero pressure, but gives a clear benefit to the viewer. After giving the CTA, you move on to the next point. The first CTA is perfect for people who don't make it to the end of the video. But the second CTA is the real power move. This one goes at the end of your video after you've delivered everything you promised. By that point, the viewer has sat through your entire video, learned the system, and they've warmed up to you. That's when you bring in a heavier CTA, either a pattern interrupt or a solution CTA. A pattern interrupt CTA works when your video exposes a mistake. It hits at the identity level. For a coach helping women lose weight, it could be something like, if you recognized yourself in any of this, but you're still skipping breakfast and wondering why you can't lose the last 15 pounds, and you're serious about finally shedding that weight so you can fit into your old dresses, then click the link below to see exactly how to lose it. This CTA is powerful. It triggers self-recognition and creates urgency without being pushy, and your viewers will be eager to click. A solution CTA works when your video teaches a system or process. It connects the pain they still feel to the outcome they want. For a financial planning coach, it could be something like, if you're struggling to stick to your financial plan and you want a simple system that keeps you accountable so you actually hit your savings goal and stop living month to month, then click the link in the description to see exactly how to do it. The key difference between CTA 1 and 2 is the weight. CTA 1 gives direction without losing momentum of the video, but CTA 2 creates a powerful shift in the viewer where clicking the link is the logical next step. So if you're only dropping one CTA at the end of your videos, you're leaving a lot of clicks behind because a lot of people watching your video don't watch the entire thing. Add the natural pause CTA a third of the way in, and you'll start picking up viewers who are ready to act long before your outro ever hit. If you've been getting views but almost nobody's clicking your link, and you've been blaming your content or your audience size, now you know the real problem is your CTA. And if you want to see exactly what that looks like when it's fixed so you can start turning those views into actual clients, click the link in the description below. Now we know a clear, compelling, and congruent CTA placed at the right moment is what separates a YouTube channel that bleeds viewers from one that turns them into clients. But the CTA is just one lever in a 5-stage system. And if you want to see how all 5 stages work together and understand the simple math that shows exactly how a channel with 5,000 monthly views can generate 10K a month in coaching revenue, go watch this video next.